Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Yin and Yang Podcast. We are not dead, people. I repeat, we are not dead. We've just been on a little bit of a hiatus. Not hiatus. Damn it. I'm already bubbled up. You know who I am. I'm
Well,
Chad.
someone's been on a little bit of a hiatus.
That was you. And once again, we're also joined by Robot Toaster.
Hi.
Yeah, I fumbled over my words at the beginning. Okay, sue me. But yeah, no, the podcast has been on a bit of a hiatus, right? Like a bit of a hiatus because I've been on a hiatus because of stuff. Just content burnout, I guess you could say. What's the term? I mentioned it before with Edgy and Mega for Splitscreen Squad. Like I can't remember the term, but it's like a lot of YouTubers can get this eventually, and like it takes a toll on you. That, and with work that I've been doing, I've been busy. I've not had time to do either this movie sign, which is still a thing. We just got to work on that, and Splitscreen Squad with you and our two friends. So, how have you guys been? Because it's been a while since we did this. So, what have you guys been up to?
I've been mostly fine. I've had to start.
You're still streaming?
Yeah, I'm still streaming, and I had to take a little bit of a break for some stuff. But yeah.
All right, Toaster, how are you? You're still at college, right?
Yeah, I'm in grad school.
That's good.
I go to Savannah College of Art and Design.
Oh, nice. A little shout out.
Yeah.
All right, and then you were mentioning
school.
Yeah.
What?
And then yesterday you were mentioning that it was like your winter quarter yesterday, like it finished yesterday.
Oh yeah, my winter quarter was a pain in the butt, just because I had so much work to do. But I did come up with a whole bunch of new illustrations that I'll probably end up posting on my DeviantArt at some point. And I'm very happy that I actually got to show off one of my OCs in a project.
That's nice. That's nice. All right, so we got like a full list, you guys. It's been a while since we did this, so I kind of expected like a huge list. So before we do that, how's the streaming been going, bud?
It's been going fine. I've finally gone back to Lost Odyssey, which I have been streaming for over the last year. And since I've currently been waiting for a thing that me and D-Pad have been planning about, a family share, I have not been able to get back to my Earthbound series playthrough.
How about we just jump into the first topic then? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, let's go with his first topic that he picked.
Yeah, basically, we're going to kind of be doing a topic jumping because now our document is separating the topics by person.
Yeah, I thought it was something like kind of to keep the podcast like your list. So if there's something that I have that's, let's say, Toaster picked, it's just to avoid the confusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we might like some of the same things or be interested in some of the same things.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so
starting
you
off
want to
with,
start off?
Yeah, starting off with my first topic. Tony Hawk 3+4 finally got announced, which that's good considering how successful 1+2 was. And Activision already Activisioned it up. Because what they're doing with it is it's a remake of 3 and a level pack of 4. Because for some idiotic reason, they're sticking with the timed mechanic for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. That was only in the previous gen versions of 4. While PS2, GameCube, and Xbox had him as a open world mechanic, similar to what they would later move on with Tony Hawk.
See, I'm not really all that with like skateboarding games, but I do remember playing Tony Hawk's Underground. That's the only one I remember playing. That and the first Tony Hawk game for the PlayStation. I remember the PlayStation because you could unlock Spider-Man as a character.
That was two.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
I mean, Activision being Activision, it's not like they're being EA because this is just something I heard. You can take it with a grain of salt unless it's true, but EA's thinking about putting ads in their games now.
yeah. And it's
And
like,
that's like a freemium game or what?
No, like an actual ad, like in an actual game.
yeah.
What a ripoff! Like,
Yeah,
what is the point
EA
of paying for the game if you have to pay for more game?
EA really should be shut down by now.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to bring that up because like I found that out like yesterday, and I'm like, I gotta mention this on the podcast. But there's no career mode. Like I remember like the career mode for Tony Hawk games. Like those were like the best things about the game.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say that the time limit thing is bad, but it was not in the next gen version of 4, and that's one thing that people praise about 4. So it's really stupid that Activision is screwing up the game already.
At least Toy for Bob's escaped their clutches.
Yeah. And we don't know what the hell they're working on, so yeah.
They're keeping it hush hush, which is yeah. But Toaster, are you familiar with the Tony Hawk games?
Yes, you skateboard. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about Tony Hawk other than he's a skateboarder, so I assume that's what the games are about.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
Yeah.
I've never really been big into games relating to sports, just because I don't really like sports.
Mhm.
I don't dislike them. I like working out and swimming and stuff. I'm not really adept to like run or kick a ball or anything like that. And because I'm not athletic and I don't care that much about sports, I guess I just don't want to play video games of them. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just not for me.
No. There's that's fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, do we want to move on to the next topic, or do we want to like mix it up and like I'll pick something from my list?
Let's bounce between each one of us.
Okay.
Especially considering
Alright,
I
then. So,
kind of have the most of these.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll go then, and then Toaster can pick from her list. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys are familiar with the movie The Princess and the Frog? It's a Disney animated film.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Now, way back in December, they had announced the plans for a Tiana series for Disney Plus, which, I think would have been cool because honestly, I know this movie gets a lot of backlash for I don't know why, but Princess and the Frog is one of my favorite movies from Disney, and it's also the last Disney movie to use the traditional hand-drawn animation style before Disney went digital like most studios have done. But March, like this month, it was announced that the Walt Disney Animation Studios was no longer focusing on producing large form content for Disney Plus, their streaming service, and announced that the Tiana series had been canceled. This irked a lot of people, myself included.
Curses.
I talked to a coworker about this, and she was just downright angry with Disney. And we came to the conclusion that Disney isn't Disney anymore with what they've been doing. Like, there's the whole thing with the Snow White movie, which I am happy that my theater has decided not to show. It skipped our theater, thank God.
Thank Jesus.
But you have the voice actors behind Tiana. Now, I'm probably going to butcher this name. I apologize. Hang on. Where's the thing on the thing here?
I think I know her name.
Yeah.
It's You want to say it?
Oh yeah, Anika Nani Rose. Again, sorry if I butchered the name, but she shared an Instagram post of Tiana from the 2009 movie, showing the character wishing on a star. The post also includes a statement from the actress, which said that she is disappointed about the cancellation. She then went on to praise the work that had been done for the series and given a special shout out to former Walt Disney Animation Studio Chief Creative Officer Jennifer Lee, as well as writer and director Joyce Sherry, and she also praised the animators and the music team that worked on Tiana. She hopes that the fans of The Princess and the Frog will make sure to watch the upcoming Tiana special event. This is the first I'm hearing, so we might have something coming up for Tiana. But she also wrote that the fans should share how much they desire to see these characters return by watching and having the special streaming numbers reflect that. At the end of her post, she shared her gratitude for those who continue to show how much Tiana means to them. So I was wondering if you guys are okay with it, if I could read what her post exactly says.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Last week, an announcement was made regarding the cancellation of the series Tiana. I have been getting loads of messages expressing kindness, support, and overwhelming disappointment. I have been asked by different outlets to make a statement, but I'd rather talk to you directly. I, too, am deeply disappointed that the continuation of Tiana's journey in series form has been cut short. This series was a long time coming, and a lot of beautiful work was put into it by all the creatives involved, including but not limited to longtime champion Jen Lee, our wonderful artist director Joyce Sherry, some fabulous animators, and an amazing music team. As hurtful as it is for anything you've put into your heart and your soul into to be permanently ended, my hope is that when what was now to be a Tiana special event airs, that all of you beautiful, love, and loyal fans who have been chaperoning not just the series but a Princess and the Frog sequel tune in. And when I say tune in, I mean tell your friends, family, coworkers, babysitter, tell all the people you know who have loved Princess Tiana, Naveen, Lewis, Charlotte, Mama Olby, and the magic we've created together over the years. And make sure you are watching. Share your love and your desire in the numbers. Make that desire an undeniable and real thing. Until then, we will be continuing to work hard to bring you the most beautiful content we can. I thank you from all the bottom of my heart for the love you have shown for every hashtag Tiana Tuesday, for every hashtag Disney Bound, for every one of you who has lifted my heart in this space over the years. It made it possible for Princess Tiana to still be a vibrant and impactful presence. Make a wish and hold on tight. That just speaks volume to me. Like, she really cared about this series. She cares about this character.
She clearly cares more than Disney does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame that they just decided to put this in. I don't like how Disney's turning into. Like, they're more live action than they are about the animation. They forgot that
it seems like Disney's given up on cartoons.
Yeah, and the animation is what made Disney in the first place. It's just it's no wonder they're losing to like DreamWorks, Sony Animations, Paramount, because these other studios, like, they care about what they're doing. Disney's just like, let's take a dart. What's our next live action movie? Let's see here. Throw a dart at the wall. Boom. Snow White. Just as an example. Yeah.
This actually would be a really good time to move on to one of my topics, just because you mentioned the live action stuff.
I mean, if Toaster's okay with that.
Well, yeah, I think it's a good lead-in.
All right, cool. So
Right.
now we finally got the Lilo and Stitch trailer. And honestly, it looks pretty decent. I mean, it's not awful, but it looks way better than a lot of the other stuff, especially Snow White.
I think the one thing that turns me off so far is the CGI design of Pleakley. I don't like it.
It's funny that you say that, because there's a lot of people that are mad that Pleakley's human guys, which is played by Billy Magnuson, is not a woman, considering Pleakley's done a lot of cross-dressing in the series.
Yeah, like that's what made Pleakley. Like that was his whole thing. Like
wasn't his whole thing, but I know
it really wasn't his whole thing. It really was not his whole thing. I don't mind.
He's not Roger from American Dad.
Yeah, he's
Which
not.
I can totally see the two of them hanging out, though.
Oh God, no! Pleakley would basically be appalled by Roger, and Roger would hate Pleakley.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
But no, it's like I do understand why people are kind of upset that it's not a woman. But on the other hand, I'm not trying to say I don't really care, but it's like, still give it a shot, because we've only seen him once. So we could have Billy dressing up as a woman. Maybe. Who knows? All right?
Or potentially, maybe he and Jumba are a gay couple.
No, I don't. No, they're not going to do that. They are not going to do that.
It's like, I thought the whole idea of Pleakley disguising himself as a woman was to give the idea that they were a couple. Was that not the intent?
I think they only did that once.
Yeah,
because I know some people like headcanon Jumba and Pleakley as a gay couple. I'm not sure I see it, but I don't want to shit on other people's headcanons because they're just headcanons.
Yeah.
But considering how ugly I think CGI Pleakley is, I do not need to see that thing in drag.
Don't call it a thing.
No, it's a digital pile. It has no feelings for me to hurt.
Wow. But I do agree.
I'm sorry. I'm legit confused. Did I say something?
No, we're being sarcastic.
No.
We're being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, internet, if I offended people who are made out of CGI.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Don't worry.
Or can we get an angry letter from like Jimmy Neutron or something?
I will admit, I do kind of understand that people are upset that apparently Bubbles is working with Jumbo and Pleakley, because apparently they're turning him into an alien Area 51 guy, which that doesn't really work.
I'm confused.
Because Bubbles.
Yeah.
Cobra Bubbles.
Yeah.
The social worker.
Yeah.
Just when I'm starting to think these live action movies, these remakes are kind of a lose-lose situation.
This one's more closer to a lot of some of the other ones. The only thing I don't like, but I also can't say I don't like. I like the casting though, because I do. They're making a brand new character, Mrs. Kyoka, a social worker who's essentially taking Bubbles' place as the social worker character.
Mm.
I don't like that.
So they get. I'm confused. So they get rid of a character only
No,
to bring
they're
in
changing him into
character
Eggman, essentially. They're turning Bubbles into Eggman in the live action Sonic.
Yeah, they're basically like they're switching Bubbles' role in this movie and
To a
replacing
woman
it with
who
like a
voiced Nani in the original, in literally all the animated stuff. I like that casting. I don't like the fact that they have to make her a new character though.
I would
I
have
don't
loved
like
to see
that,
her actually
especially
like,
considering
I-
we also had have Jason Scott Lee, who voiced David in the original film in the movie, as a nameless luau manager. And it's like, I don't like the fact that they're doing that for one of the original actors, but utterly replacing a character, half of a character, with another voice actor from the original series. I don't like that. I am happy that both of them are in, but I don't like how they're doing it.
Mhm.
See, that's what I was gonna say about these Disney live action remakes. They often feel like a lose-lose game because when you make too many changes to the original story, it's like, what's the point when you could just make a new story?
The thing
But
is,
if you keep it too similar to what did you say?
they're not really making any changes to the story though.
No,
They're just
I was getting to that.
okay.
But if you make it too similar to the original, what's the point when you can just watch the original?
That is also
Like,
true.
do you
That is
guys
also
remember?
true.
I mean, again, I know that the only reason that these movies exist are as cash grabs, but you know what they kind of remind me of? Remember when Disney in the 90s and 2000s
Oh, the
they would
sequels.
the direct to video sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like they're doing that again, but whereas that you're paying like $20 for a DVD or VHS that you can watch over and over again. Here they're they're making you pay like what, $18 to go see it at the theater one time. Like as much as a lot of people love to hate on the Disney sequels, at least you're like getting more bang for your buck.
I mean, hey, one of the Cinderella ones, we literally just have the prince jumping out a window.
Oh, I've been meaning to see Cinderella 3. Some of my friends have been recommending it to me.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that's the only one people like because of how fucking dumb it is and that scene.
I liked it because Jennifer Hale, Sam from the original Totally Spies, she's Cinderella.
Jennifer Hale's in everything. In the early 2000s, in late 90s, early 2000s, I mean.
Yeah, in your point, yeah, I like her. Okay.
I'm gonna look up who she is.
I also should state this. I did mention that we have Tia Carrere, Carrere, and Jason Scott Lee in live action Lilo and Stitch. I do want to remind people that Chris Sanders, Stitch's original actor, is still voicing 626.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, at least they didn't replace him. But still.
Yeah, I mean, it's Stitch.
Yeah.
His voice is iconic.
I also will state this. I do like that the actress for Myrtle continues carrying the "I'm a bitch" energy that the little girl had in the original series. Because let's be straight honest.
Nice.
If there's one child character that deserves to be punted like a football, it's Myrtle from Lilo and Stitch. She should be punted. I do not condone child violence. I only condone violence against animated children. And that also is completely on depending on the circumstances. Okay, I do not condone actual violence against children. and that also is not an insult about the actress. I like that because they really could have just because the only scene in the trailer we saw her in, I saw. Yeah, no, I could see this. They're actually copying the same energy that Myrtle had in the original one, which is annoying little bitch.
Well, that was the point of the character. It's not
Exactly.
it's not like DW where she's kind of unintentionally a bitch. It's like I mean, if I think a good point of comparison would be like Angelica from Rugrats. She kind of reminds me of that.
Oh, funny thing about Angelica, growing up, I had a cousin that was like Angelica incarnated, like actual Angelica, like an actual live version of Angelica.
Thank God we're not getting a live action version of that.
We already got one ugly thing
Are
involving
we?
the Rugrats, and that was that reboot series.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't talk about that.
Yep. All right, but no, I might actually have to see this one just because it's Stitch, and Stitch, he looks adorable.
Yeah, I like the fact that what they did with Stitch. I like. I'm curious. I want to wait for other for like reviews and stuff. But honestly, this looks really good.
I'm trying to keep an open mind. I do think I'm not a huge fan of that thing they do in live action CGI hybrids where they always got to make the cartoon character look more realistic. But I think it looks good on Stitch because he was like already kind of a. I mean, he's obviously not a real animal; he's an alien, but they are pretty faithful to the design. Again, I'm not thrilled with CGI Pleakley, but I'm trying to keep an open mind. You know, when most of these are terrible, you know, mediocre looks good in comparison.
Yeah.
All right, so Toaster,
Yes.
you pick now. Pick from your list.
All right. So, some of my friends in the Star Trek server I'm in, they recently showed a new line of Star Trek action figures. Well, a couple of new lines. One is made by the Nacelle Company, and they were announced in October 2024, and we got a preview of what they look like on March 4th. And the other one is launching this summer. News came out in February, and let's see who's making this one. Master Replicas.
They're a good company.
Yeah. Some of my friends aren't entirely. What did you say?
Who are the characters?
Okay, so we got. So which line you want to hear about first?
Your choice.
There's two different lines of them.
Your call.
Yeah, your
Okay,
call.
so the Master Replicas line, I'm gonna send you guys the picture of it right now. Well, I guess you already see it on your end. We have looks like Worf, Riker, and Picard from the Picard series, which I have not seen yet. We have Spock from Strange New Worlds, which I have very mixed feelings about. And the one that makes me the happiest, we have Boimler, Mariner, and Tendi from Lower Decks.
I'm gonna be straight honest. Looking at the figures all together, the Lower Decks group just looks like just basically gives me the energy of custom character in a cutscene. They don't. It's not the same model type as everyone else, and it's like Jesus fucking Christ, this looks unsettling.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I like Lower Decks. I think it's funny, and I think it does a decent job at bringing Star Trek to the like adult cartoon format. But I was never crazy about the art style. I'm gonna be honest, sometimes a bad art style can give me a bad impression of the show, because it does have that generic adult cartoon look to it. Early on, it felt like it was just an adult cartoon with a Star Trek skin slapped on it. But as it goes on, it gets better at being a Star Trek show, though it does kind of over rely on old references a lot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Old Star Trek would do that a lot, but it seems like Lower Decks just does it all the time, and it could get pretty annoying where it's just, hey, remember that thing? Hey, remember this thing? But I mean, that's just nitpicking with the show. Um, again, I can see why you think the way you do. I'm just so happy that there's finally a plastic representation of Tendi, who I like a whole lot.
Yeah, Tendi is the best character, and we're just
Tendi
fine.
is great.
I named one of my chickens in my games I've been playing Harvestella after Tendi.
See, I mean, honestly, what we should be getting of Tendi is it would be nice to have like a little plushie of her.
Mm.
Why are we not why do we not have a marketable plushie of Tendi yet?
Exactly. Okay.
And so the other line of action figures, hold on, let me show you guys the picture. We have kind of some more obscure characters in this, and a couple well-known ones. We have I'm just trying to go through the list. We have Captain Jellicoe, who was in a character in TNG, and it looks like Picard's fish is like part of the set. We have Peter Preston, who was a crew member in Wrath of Khan. We have Valkyris, who was one of the Klingons in Search for Spock. We have Tuvix from Voyager, who was the result of Tuvok and Neelix like merging in an episode. And there's some debate in the Star Trek franchise about whether or not Janeway was in the right over what she did to him. Let's see who else we have. Weyoun, who was a character, or rather, like multiple characters. There were multiple Weyouns from Deep Space Nine. We have Captain Sulu, specifically the Sulu's appearance in The Undiscovered Country, aka Sulu when I actually liked him, when he was actually doing stuff. And finally, we have Captain Rachel Garrett from Star Trek The Next Generation. Oh, wait, and one more was Jonathan Archer from Enterprise, the mirror version of him, which I have not seen Enterprise yet, but I plan to very soon. I'm like 6 seasons deep into Voyager, and I plan to finish more of it on break. And I have to say, even if I don't recognize all these figures, like again, I don't really know about Archer much, but I think the Nacelle Company's figures are really nice looking. I'm glad that there are like multiple incarnations of Star Trek represented here. Even if I don't remember all of the characters off the bat, I think they're very well designed figures. What do you guys think?
I want the Sulu one.
He has such a warm facial expression. Like he seems as if he's like inviting you in.
George Takei is the national
mischief.
treasure. George Takei is the national treasure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have to protect George Takei. We have to
Okay.
protect. We have to protect.
It'll be
From what?
Okay.
it'll be a cold day on Earth when George Takei passes away.
Aw.
Yeah. I mean, thousands of Star Trek fans are going to be like at a loss.
Yep.
And I don't mean that
And
to
the gay
offend.
community will be at a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I don't want to say this as a hating thing. Like, you guys know that Sulu was my least favorite character in TOS. Just because I felt like I don't hate him, he was okay, I just felt like he got the least amount of development out of the cast. If that makes any sense.
It does.
But the episode where he had a sword was iconic. He's kind of a hidden badass. And that moment in Search for Spock when he like beat up a guy. Like, again, I don't hate Sulu. He has his moments. It just seems like the moments we get of him are very few and far between. But he is kind of a hidden badass. George Takei, if you're listening to this, I don't hate you or your character.
All right. Thank you, Toaster. I'm excited for these. Like, I definitely want to get the 10D and like the Picard because Toaster knows that out of the Star Trek series, I love Next Generation just because Sir Patrick Stewart, he's like my favorite, one of my favorite actors from that.
That's
Okay.
great.
Yeah. All right. So, let's go over to one of my topics. Is that okay, you?
That's fine.
Sure.
Okay, and yeah, this is gonna be quick. Like, this is a quick little thing, but as you guys know, there's that new Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up. Awesome name for a movie.
Oh, I am
for a
definitely
Looney Tunes
seeing
movie.
it this week.
You have to tell me how it is because sadly, the theater here, because it's a small theater, we're not actually getting that movie. I have to travel to Saskatoon in order to see it, which I might have to at some point because it's the Looney Tunes back up on the big screen. It's Daffy and Porky, but the amount of stress that this movie had to go through in order to get actually seen, to be allowed to be seen by the public because Warner Brothers or it's head of like Warner Discovery, Zazzle. Is that the name?
I don't know.
Is that
David
his name?
Zalves, and he
There we
needs
go.
to go to hell.
Yeah, he's kind of ruining Warner Bros. But anyway, they had mentioned that if this movie does well at the box office, which last I checked, its score on Rotten Tomatoes is 93%. So there's that. But there's hope that the other canceled Looney Tunes movie, Coyote versus Acme, might actually get to be seen if this movie does well at the box office. And I'd say, if that does happen, that's a win because Coyote versus Acme, if you guys don't know what this movie is, it's essentially Wile E. Coyote suing Acme Corporation. It's based on
With John Cena as the head of Acme.
yeah, it's the movie's based like on this cartoon that was like part of like a newspaper. I can't remember the name of it, but it also starred Will Friedle. Well, sorry, Will Fort, I think.
Will Friedle.
Yeah, Will Friedle. There we go. He was gonna be playing. He was playing Wiley's lawyer, and yeah, it's a shame that this movie got canceled because the premise and like the stuff that we know about it, it sounded like a good movie. It sounded like what Space Jam 2 could have been if Space Jam 2 did not happen. I'm sorry, I did not like New Legacy. They pushed so hard for that. Oh, That's just me. But yeah, I hope
I'm
that this movie actually
curious.
gets shown.
I'm curious. Would they have kept Coyote silent in Coyote versus Acme? Because I know there were one or two shorts where he did talk. I believe in some of the ones he was paired up with Bugs Bunny, he might have talked.
Yeah. I think he would have been silent.
Okay. I mean, I know that it's very hard to sustain a movie with a silent character, but it can work if there are other characters. Like, what I mean, a movie, a full-length movie, a feature length, because there's plenty of silent film. Most silent films tend to be very short.
If you want to see like a good movie that has like someone silent, it's a comedy movie. It's called Thousands of Beavers. It's a slapstick comedy and it's depicted as like a black and white movie. I watched it with a friend and it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, Hundreds of Beavers. My friends told me about that. I've been meaning to see it.
That's it's a good movie, trust me. Alright. So how about we switch over to you now, you?
Well, honestly, to be honest, me and Toaster need to go double up because you only have 3 topics left. So,
Okay.
all right.
Alright.
So I think I'll basically just stick with my live action bit right now with the Cancel Powerpuff Girls live action trailer leaked, and no one likes it.
We dodged a bullet with that, folks.
Yeah, we did.
Definitely.
Oh, what were they thinking?
Yeah, this is
really.
This is why we need to stop listening to people that think they know what they're talking about. Looking at you, asshole, who keeps making the horror Disney movies.
Oh, yeah. Did you see they posted up a trailer for the new Bambi horror movie?
Yeah,
Oh,
I want.
God.
This is why I think bullying for edgelords should come back. I mean that purely as a joke.
Hold on, are we bullying the edgelords, or are the edgelords the one doing the bullying?
Bullying the edgelords.
Won't that just make them more edgelords?
Depending on how bad we do it.
Okay.
But yeah, we dodged a bullet with that, and I'm glad that CW realized how stupid it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I think there's one...
Go ahead.
Oh, you were going to say something.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll let you go.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think the reason why I dislike the trailer so much is because it feels like an insult to the cartoon.
I mean, so was the 2016 series.
No, but like one line specifically in the trailer pisses me off, and I don't mean to say this in a racist way, but it is like that line where Buttercup, who is cast with a black actress, she says, like, the cartoon whitewashed us, and this was really confusing. Like, I would
never fucking do that. Never fucking do that. Because that
this was... I'm trying to collect my thoughts. I would understand if this was like Ringo Starr complaining that the Beatles cartoon made him an idiot, which, yes, the Beatles had a cartoon, but that's neither here nor there. But, like, it comes across like it's saying the cartoon isn't the real version of the Powerpuff Girls, and this live-action version is. Like, never insult your source material, ever.
Yeah. Teen Titans Go, Thundercats Roar, Titans.
The Thundercats roar only lasted like a few episodes before it got like canceled.
Teen Titans Go is still fucking going.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's still I'm double checking.
Holy Shatner.
Yeah, it's still fucking going. And it's an embarrassment. It is a fucking embarrassment. And whenever they insult the fans of the original series, I hate the voice cast even more. I hate the voice cast
You
even
hate
more.
the voice cast? Like
Yeah,
the voice.
because they also allow it too. I am praying for Greg Cripes to get better because of his cancer announcement. I am praying. And I'm not going to say
I don't
anything
want
more
to
about it.
shit on. I mean, I normally don't like shitting on the actors. Like I've said what I said about Strange New Worlds, but I'm never gonna get mad at Ethan Peck for the mishandling of Spock because he's just an actor. He's doing it, giving it his all. But when the actor goes out of their way
They
to insult
haven't
the
done it
fans,
too, but it's like it's more of a you're associated thing to me. It's more your associated thing. It's not an
yeah.
actual they've done it themselves.
Oh,
Although
okay.
one of
Well,
them
but I mean,
one of them I wouldn't be surprised if they have. I'm not going to name that certain person. D-Pad can probably guess who though.
Yeah, I'm
but
just gonna
like, I
do.
guess just one of the things that
Uh,
that draws the most ire from me is when a work of fiction insults its audience. Like a few years ago, one of the topics I suggested we talk about that we never did was it was a Disney cartoon called Primos, and that got a little bit of backlash because they mishandled Spanish in the intro of the show, and one of the actors basically insulted the fan base or insulted people who were complaining about that, and it came across as very disrespectful. I'm not Hispanic
I'll be honest.
myself, so I can't get offended in the same way they can. But again, like you insult your audience, that is offensive to me.
I'll be honest, Toaster. I completely forgot about this.
I will never forget insulting your audience.
yeah, and I also do want to correct myself. It's not a cancer Greg Cripes has. It's Parkinson's disease. Early onset.
Oh no.
What is that?
So Parkinson's disease. That's what Michael J. Fox has.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do apologize to anyone who actually got upset that I used the wrong thing. I'm very sorry. My mind went to cancer because I knew it was a sad thing, but I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the real one, so did have to look it up. Just wanted to correct myself out there.
All right.
All right, since you guys both have 3, do we mind if I do another another one of my topics?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna stick with the live action one, and we're gonna be doing talking Punisher's return to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is going to have a little light spoilers for Daredevil Born Again episode 3. So D-Pad, if you could put up a big spoiler warning for while we're talking on this, and then have it go away to symbolize we are that part is over.
Yeah, so basically if you don't want to if you want to get spoiled for Daredevil, skip to this point here and like yeah.
Okay. We are going to be having Frank Castle show up in Daredevil. And his actor will be John Berthenol, the actor who played him in the spin-off series of the original Punisher series, The Punisher.
Nice.
And it does come with a little bit of a sad note because episode 3's ending ends with the death of Hector Ayala, White Tiger, played by the late Camar de los Reyes. I apologize if I butchered that name. Who passed away back in 2023. 2023. which was during the production and filming of this series. So that is why they had to put down White Tiger. And after his death, we saw a familiar skull. People have easily figured out that it's corrupt cops using the Punisher logo. So it's not Frank Castle doing it. And I'm happy that they're going to be covering this little tidbit because people who see them who want to use the Punisher logo a lot need basically what's coming to these cops. We don't know what's coming to these cops. We don't know, but I will be straight on behind. Yes, whatever Frank Castle does to these cops is well deserved. Because especially if you're a cop, do not use the Punisher's logo as if you're spreading it for hatred. Oh, even the comics have done this bit of it because Frank found some cops just going, "Hey, we put your logo onto the thing." He got pissed. He got fucking pissed.
I think at one of the comics, a cop showed them like what like you have like the logo on the hood of his car.
Yeah, and
Frank just he grabs the cop, slams his head into the hood.
Yeah, it's like you are not me. I am not to be idolized. Ironically, that is one of the reasons why I kind of idolized the crap out of Punisher. Not as a character, not I want to be just like him type. And if you do want to be punished just like Frank Castle, you need your fucking head examined. Anyone else want to say anything, or because it's mostly just been me for this topic?
Well, I've just been
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I still I'm on the second episode, Derek.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's like I have a coworker that kind of spoiled stuff already, so it's fine. Just
okay.
I'm kind of also just excited that Punisher's coming back because I love me some Punisher.
We love Punisher as we love Frank Castle as the character. We do not love the Punisher as what he does. I'm basically we idolize the character. We don't idolize his actions. Which honestly, that's what should be done. Idolize the character, not his actions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, there's that topic. So now it's one of your turns.
Let's go with Toaster.
Okay.
All right, so we've talked about superheroes a little bit, and as I was scrolling through YouTube the other day, I was getting a couple of recommendations for new cartoons, and one of them, well, I mean, there's two of them I kind of talk about, and both from very different demographics. The first one is, let me get my notes up here. Hold on, I had some stuff written down. Yeah, it's called Ianu, Child of Wonder. It's going to be airing on Cartoon Network pretty soon. It's based on a Dark Horse comic. G-Pad, you've told me you've heard about it.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it takes influence from Nigerian folklore, particularly from the Yoruba people. I don't know that much about the story yet, but it is a chosen one story, which has potential to be really good or really bad, depending on how it's executed. But, some of the most iconic stories of all time have been chosen one stories. One of the things that sounded really interesting to me about the show was the aspect that Ianu is said to have a trinity of powers: unnatural, natural, and supernatural. We're shown that natural powers appear to be control over plants, but I'm really curious about what the distinction between unnatural and supernatural is. the overall feeling of the show reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender a little bit, but instead of taking influence from Asian mythology, it's African mythology, which is something you don't see a lot in fiction. Like, in an age where Hollywood I don't mean to say racist, I don't mean to sound racist when I say this, but in an age where Hollywood thinks that lazily copying white people's homework is the best way to give other groups representation, it is really refreshing to see a show that actually incorporates elements from that culture and can, bring that culture to a whole new audience. If you want to show us other cultures, show us other cultures, and that can be especially powerful through their mythology. I don't tell you guys this a lot, but I actually do like mythology a whole lot. My friends and I do frequently discuss like Greek gods and mythical creatures on another server I'm in. And, I'm thinking maybe this can help to make African mythology a little bit more popular. So far my only, I guess, nitpick about the trailer is that the voice acting feels very flat. But I'm assuming that once they get over that hurdle, it can be better. I'm looking forward to this show. I'm probably going to watch it when it comes out.
Nice.
You guys have seen the trailer. I sent it to you, right?
Yeah, I have.
I've seen it.
All right. And then the other new cartoon, it is aimed at a very different demographic. A demographic I've been told I probably shouldn't be watching because it's made for younger kids. I found this while scrolling through YouTube. It is a cartoon called Super Duper Bunny League. It's going to be airing on Nick Jr. also in April. I believe both of these shows are coming out in April. And it is about a team of rabbits who have superpowers, obviously. The first episode is up on YouTube right now as a sneak peek, and so far I feel like it has potential to be the next big hit, but it hasn't really found its footing yet. Like, my main issue with the episode is that everything seems to happen way too fast. Like, it's very fast paced. Like, the bunnies kind of get their superpowers and then they like instantly form a team, and we don't get that much of a chance to know who they are, but I assume they're gonna do more of that in the upcoming episodes. But we have kind of a brief outline of who the characters are. Should I go through them?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so each of the bunnies has a superpower. There's Stumpy. He has like stretchy powers. One of them is Dr. Annabelle. Her power is super intelligence. She appears to be like the Professor X of this team. I like her design. I like that her hair is big and pink like a brain. Just like in an age where so many cartoons have that lumpy face, smoothed over style, it's nice to see that we can still have cartoons where designs actually reflect personalities. There's Steve, handsome Steve, who is super strong and can fly. He seems like the Superman knockoff of this show, and I'm really hoping they don't turn him into a Zap Brannigan type. Trying to think of who else. There's Middy, short for Midnight Bun Bun, who doesn't appear to talk. Like, she dresses kind of like a ninja, and she has power over shadows, which could be interesting if they elaborate on that more.
Oh, what a surprise! The
there-
ninja has shadow powers.
I
Why they
didn't
gotta
write
play
the
it like
show.
that? Why they
I
gotta
didn't
play
write
it
the
like
show.
that?
I just think it's interesting.
I'm being smart. I'm being a smart ass.
All right. Trying to think
Go
of who
ahead. Go
else.
ahead. Sorry.
Derek, who can grow big and round, who can grow into a ball, because I guess that's a power. And then the last one is Bex, and she has electricity-based powers, and she is kind of the one thing. another thing I find really distracting about about this show is that she is voiced by Michaela Dietz, who voiced Amethyst in Steven Universe. I'm glad she's getting more work, but what I don't like about the character that I find really distracting is that she's giving the exact same delivery as she did for Amethyst, as if she doesn't have range. Like, it kind of reminds me of when I was a kid and like Gilbert Gottfried would show up in a bunch of things, and I would always ask like, why does this character sound like Digit from Cyber Chase? Like, I can understand banking and on an iconic voice actor if their voice is iconic enough, but when every role Michaela Dietz is in just is not only Amethyst in voice, but like in terms of personality, like because Beck seems to have a really similar attitude.
Mhm.
I guess it's just kind of distracting. But I do think this show has potential. The humor feels a little bit like Word Girl. It's very tongue in cheek. They have a narrator for kind of jokey reasons. And like this show is made for younger audiences. I said it's going to be on Nick Jr. But I am glad that kids today are still going to grow up with like comedic superheroes. I know we shat on Teen Titans Go earlier, but comedic superheroes can be really iconic when they're done well, like the Powerpuff Girls. And
Mhm.
I don't know why I want this show to be a big hit. I think once it finds its footing, it could have a lot of potential.
Nice.
And I know that sounds really stupid if it's a cartoon about superpowered rabbits, but whatever. I just me showing off my autism, getting excited about a preschool show.
Well, this is actually a perfect segment into something that I wanted to cover. If that's okay with you guys.
Well,
Okay.
it's your turn.
Okay, so I mentioned this before we recorded, but this is like a last little thing. But Saturday it's the Children Family Emmy Awards, where like I don't know why they just don't have this as part of like the actual Emmys.
Yeah,
It
it's
boggles
really
the mind.
weird. Really weird.
Boggles the mind. Yeah, but a certain reboot of a certain show from my childhood has been nominated for 10 awards for this round, like for this year. And I'm talking about the amazing reboot of Jim Henson's beloved Fraggle Rock series. Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock has been an insanely amount of like awesomeness. And I say that because I love this like I love the original reboots, like the original series so much. Like I have the 30th anniversary box set edition that I got for my birthday 2 years ago. Like it contains like the entire original series and the short-lived animated series, which I didn't know that the creator of the kick-ass 80s Spider-Man animation show, like the one like from the 80s, the like with the theme, like that cool theme.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. The creator of that show actually was the one behind the animated Fraggle Rock series.
Ooh.
Yeah, I found that out through like a post because earlier this week it was no, last week it was Rob Paulson's birthday. And if you don't know who Rob Paulson is, he's a voice actor. He voiced Raphael from the original Ninja Turtle series. He's also Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron. But I found out through this that he actually voiced Boober Fraggle from the animated series. And Boober is actually one of my favorite characters. Yeah. But I'm just gonna list the awards that they're nominated for, if that's okay with you guys.
Go ahead.
Of course.
Okay. Puppetry performer, that's for Karen Prowl. She's the puppeteer behind Red Fraggle. She's been the puppeteer. She's been Red from the original series, and she's like Red for the new series, and she's also one of the executive producers for the series. There's another nominee for puppeteer performer. That's Donna Kimball, she has taken over as Moki Fraggle because Karen Prell, the original performer, retired. Like, she's done with it. And I have to say, what they've done with Moki for this series, I like what they've done with her. They've made her more of like the kind of like, I guess you could say kind of like the mother figure of like the Fraggle Five, and like just older sister. She's more artistic in this, like she was in the original one, because in the original one, she was more kind of daydreaming all the time, most of the time. Writing for a preschool children's series, I'm Pogi. This was a good episode. Like, I have to share it with you guys at some point. It was really a good episode. And it's the other award is like another writing for preschool children's show. This for that. Another really good episode. This one, I'm kind of like, really? This is this one that they picked for this one? Original song for a children's or young teens program. They could have picked any other song from like the reboot, but they picked this one, Radishes versus Strawberries. It's actually a funny song, and like the entire episode, like when this song plays, the Fraggles break out into like a civil war. It's kind of funny. There's also cinematography for a single camera live action series, editing for a single camera live action production, visual effects for a live action program, costume designing and styling. So I'm really happy with how this reboot's turned out. I'm happy with how the response people have given for this reboot, because a coworker of mine from work, she grew up with like the original Fraggle Rock. And so now her and her husband, because like they didn't know a thing about the reboot until I started playing my Fraggle Rock music in the morning, because I do the announcements for my work, and I always like to end the announcements with playing like one of my Fraggle Rock songs, because it's something to kind of get through the week, you know? She's like, I don't think I've ever heard like that song before from Fraggle Rock. I'm like, this is from the reboot. There's a reboot. Yeah, there's 2 seasons of like the reboot. It's on Apple TV. And so like her and her husband started to watch this reboot, and one of their sons is actually watching it with them now. And apparently the son really loves this reboot. So she was telling me that it's fun because they get to explain to him about a show from their childhood and what it meant to them. And the coworker thanked me for like introducing this reboot to like her son. So
I need to do a free trial of Apple TV just so I can watch the show.
Well, the first season is actually out on Blu-ray and DVD. I still need to pick up my copy. I'm thinking next time I get my pay from work, I'm gonna kind of splurge a little bit and buy a copy of it, just because it's something that I really need to buy. And the Blu-ray comes with like all the episodes, and it comes with the Christmas special, Night of the Lights, which is a really good special for like this reboot. And it also comes with like commentary from Gobo Fraggle's new performer. I can't pronounce his last name because it's a little hard for me. John Taglione. He played Pinocchio
John
for. Yes,
Is it
yes.
John
There we go.
Tartaglia?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Thank you.
I know he was in Avenue Q, and he also did his own show on Playhouse Disney.
Johnny and the Sprites.
Yeah, I think I watched that with my little sister a few
I
times
watched
when I
it.
was a kid.
I watched it too. He also played Pinocchio in the Broadway production of Shrek the Musical.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy gets around.
Just the amount of love that's gone into this reboot. Like, I sound like a broken record at this point, but I honestly think that if he were still here, Jim Henson would be happy with how this new team has taken over Fraggle Rock, and like how it's still producing like these episodes about like life, just like it's a show about like a community. Like you have your Fraggles, you have the Gorgs, and you have the Doozers. Like I just love the writing for this new series and like how they kind of like all kind of connect together. Like they're all kind of one big family now.
And the magic trash heap you told me about.
Yeah. Trash Heap, yeah, it's a good series and like the music from the show. I have both soundtracks and I have like the original soundtracks from the original series. They're some of my favorite go-to music, like when I need to meditate.
Wow.
Hmm. Okay, so with that ramble away, um, let's move back to you.
All right. So we finally, well, I put finally in air quotes. We finally got announcement of a sequel that really should not be made. Mitchell's vs. Machines is getting a sequel.
See, I liked that movie. Okay,
But does it deserve a sequel, though?
that's where like part of me is like, what could they do with a sequel? And the other part of me is like, no, just leave the movie alone the way it was. Like it was good as a standalone movie.
Yeah, that's why we really need to just look at sequels and just sometimes question why.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I remember I came under fire once when I made the controversial statement that Kung Fu Panda did not need sequels, though apparently some of them have been good.
Yeah, I
But I
believe
mean, like
people
not
like
every
4.
not every not every story
Yeah.
needs a continue. I need to see the Mitchells versus Machines though.
I do
One of my
too.
friends recommended it to me.
I'm gonna have to stream it for a movie night sometime, you guys.
Okay.
Ooh, what's it on?
Yeah.
Is it streaming on something?
It's on Netflix. It's an
Okay.
the thing is like it was originally supposed to be like a movie for theaters, but the pandemic happened,
Yeah.
and so Netflix, I guess, picked up the rights to like show the movie on their streaming service. So it became like a Netflix exclusive. I liked the movie because one of the characters was actually voiced by the voice actor who voices Lucy from Disenchantment, Matt Groening's Netflix series. Which, if you haven't seen Disenchantment, I highly recommend it. It's hilarious.
I saw the first season and I didn't really like it, but I'm thinking about giving it another chance.
I like it. But yeah,
I hear it gets better.
yeah, it definitely gets better. It definitely gets better. Yeah, it definitely gets better. What is it? What was I gonna say? But no, see, like, yeah, I don't know. If we have like a plot synopsis for the sequel, then maybe
Yeah.
then I'll kind of voice like a little bit more of a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
other
good
than that,
thing we're doing this monthly now.
yeah, I should point out, yeah, because of like my work and that, you guys, we're gonna be doing the podcast to kind of like every month now, just to kind of ease up on some of the I guess you could say like schedule for me.
I can dig it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like we have this, and then we also have movie sign, which we have to record our third episode sometime soon,
Yes, we really have
and
to.
then
Definitely.
yeah, I need to talk to you guys afterwards about the Christmas episode.
Alrighty.
Huh?
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I know that's just yeah. Sure, I should have mentioned like that sooner, you guys, than the podcast. Like yeah, but yeah, I'm tongue tied. Okay. Anything else about this topic? You?
Not really. I still need to watch the original one myself.
As do I.
Okay. All right, let's just go on to Toaster's last topic then. Would that be okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I keep seeing these ads on YouTube, and that are about this quote unquote realistic AI robot dog. And at first I was kind of questioning it, like, well, first I was very hostile of the concept because you guys remember those robot dog toys in the early 2000s? They had like Poochie and like the iDog. Like, remember those?
Yep.
Yep.
And like part of the appeal was that they looked like robots, and I think like at first I was thinking, doesn't making a robot dog look like a real dog kind of ruin some of the appeal? And then, but these ads kept popping up, and like I started seeing the images, and some of them were obviously AI generated. And being an artist myself, I despise AI art, but I was admittedly curious, so I decided to go to the website. Like, you can see them on Amazon under a couple of different brand names. Some of them are called like Milo, some of them are called like Nico. I went to the website, and it like has all these promises that it supposedly sits and act like that this robot dog supposedly acts like a real dog, and they go so far as to say it was handmade by engineers, and the images they show are so obviously AI generated, and I was just digging around on this on the web, and I saw through a TikTok of all things that it's a total scam. Like someone bought one of these robot dogs, supposedly. Like, they're saying about how it was nothing like what they promised. It did not come with a charger. It needed batteries, and it doesn't move realistically. It just kind of sort of walks and sort of barks. And like the whole thing is a scam. Like, you guys remember the Willie's Chocolate Experience thing that happened last year, where
Yep.
they used AI to scam people? It just feels like that again, and it's just making me incredibly hostile to the concept of AI and just misleading AI art. I hate it.
Mm.
And again, even if the concept did work as it did, even if this was a realistic robot dog, could it really replace the love that a real dog gives you?
Yeah.
I just think it's a really scummy thing, and I hate that people are getting away with doing it on YouTube.
Agreed.
Agreed. Yeah. Speaking of like the whole Willy chocolate experience, there's a show that I watch with my mom on Fridays. Kids Ruin Everything. It's a comedy show. The family was like at this like Alice in Wonderland experience. Kind of the whole thing was kind of like, I think like the show taking a shot at the whole Willy's chocolate experience thing. So I'm watching the episode with my mom. And I'm like, this is just like that whole Willy Wonka experience bullshit. And mom's like, what do you mean? You don't know about that, Mom? It was all over the news. So, I pulled up YouTube on our TV and I showed her the documentary that Slopes Game Room, like another YouTube channel. I love that guy. It's so good. Like, I showed him that documentary, and it's just like, this actually happened. Yeah, Mom, it actually happened. Whoever came up with this idea deserves to be shot. Her words, not mine.
Especially because of the AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her words, not mine, you guys. Yeah. All right, so let's just move on to one of my topics, and then Yeah, because I have two left. Yu has two
I mean,
left.
you deleted one of those. Did you not want to talk about
Yeah, just
that
because
one?
I want to get some more info for that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one I'm excited for because the guys know that I'm a fan of this, but we are getting a crossover with Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's a crossover that has Sonic and his friends teaming up with the Justice League. So we're getting a crossover between Sonic and DC Comics. I'm just gonna say this right now. The comic it's gonna be a 5-issue thing. The comic is gonna be written by Ian Flynn, one of the best Sonic writers. Like, this guy knows Sonic. He's written for Sonic for Archie era and the IDW era. This is also the first Sonic crossover since 2015's Worlds Unite series.
Ooh.
Which, yeah, but let me get this thing. So I'm gonna read the summary quickly, okay? And then we can voice our thoughts, our opinions.
Yeah,
after.
that's fine.
All right. So the monstrous Darkseid, yeah, crosses dimensions to invade the world of Sonic the Hedgehog, seeking the ultimate power. Spoiler alert! Ultimate power, Chaos Emeralds. Sonic and his friends have faced everything from mad scientists to ancient spirits, but the faces of apocalypse may be too much for them. Thankfully, the heroic might of the Justice League arrives to back them up. Yeah, sorry, I stumbled over my words. I'm a little dyslexic today. I don't know why.
I'm sorry, you said this is gonna sound very inappropriate and immature. When you said Chaos Emeralds for a second there, I thought you said gay ass emeralds.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Toaster. That's it. I'm putting you in the bathtub after. Time out. But no, there's some art's been released for it, and one of the covers I'm actually excited for because it's a cover that has Batman facing off against Metal Sonic.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, thoughts, why is it Darkseid?
I agree. I really agree. They use Darkseid way too fucking much.
Yeah. See, my thought, if we're gonna do a crossover between Sonic and DC, you have Dr. Eggman and you have Lex Luthor. Honestly, that would have been a better combination.
Mr. Mizzleplex. They should have used Mizzleplex.
Yeah.
I assume they want to use him because they want to copy Thanos. They want to outdo Marvel.
Yeah, and that's why I don't like what they've done with why they're shoving Darkseid so much in our faces. I don't like that.
Yeah, but I'm excited for the crossover. It's an interesting concept, and from what was announced at the Sonic Central, Sonic and his friends are gonna actually don their own versions of the Justice League's outfits.
Ooh.
Yeah. Can I list off who's who, you guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So of course we have Shadow as Batman. It makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Knuckles is going to be Superman.
All right.
Amy's going to be Wonder Woman. Tails is going to be Cyborg. Silver's going to be Green Lantern. And of course, you have Sonic as the Flash. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this.
Okay, I'm trying to imagine Tails as Cyborg in my head, and I'm trying to visualize it.
I mean, from what I've seen, the concept art and that, they look pretty badass.
Is one of his tails gonna be a robot tail?
I think part of it.
Well,
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting, and I guess this is going to be a thing that's going to be lasting all year round because they're going to be selling clothing and action figures of like this. So
Wow.
yeah, I got to see like what I can get my hands on because yep. So yeah, I'm excited for it. All right, let's move on to you then, okay?
Alrighty, we're sticking with the comic thing, and the impossible has actually happened. The Funimation dub for One Piece has caught up with the anime.
Really?
As in 4 more days, the anime will be caught up. I also should go on record. Part of this catch up is due to the fact that since October, the anime has been on a hiatus due to a few specific things, and it will be back next month in April. Of course, without one of the voice actors for the Straw Hats, because unfortunately, the voice actor for Frankie, give me a minute. You guys could talk about that. Well, D-Pad can at least talk about that.
Yeah, I heard about that. And, like, I don't know if I ever like messaged you and like asked if you heard about that because you're the more One Piece person than me. Like, no offense to you, but
Oh no,
like,
I know that.
I know you're like, yeah, like you're kind of gotten me into One Piece, like you and Nikki. Like, I wouldn't say like I'm, like well adverse with One Piece that much. Yeah, like I'm still learning things. I'm still reading the manga. Like I'm reading at my own pace, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard about Frankie, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah. The reason why for this is Kazuki Yao, who's voiced not only Frankie in the Japanese dub, but he's also voiced the Black Cat Pirate Hypnotist Django and everyone's favorite Okama, Mr. 2. He is stepping down to do throat cancer. Actually, since I was wrong about Greg Cripes, I need to check. I need to double check this.
Just to make sure.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, before I say that, yeah, his own health issues. Yeah, he is stepping down from the role, but he has passed on Frankie's famous briefs onto his second, Subaru Kimura, and D-Pad will be happy with this one. The man whose voice, the Japanese dub for Knuckles in Sonic 3.
Really?
Yeah, he
Wow.
is Sonic both for the movies. Yeah, will be taking over the role of Frankie. And no, this is just the movie, not the games. They do, it's really weird that they're changing that movie Knuckles has a different voice over game Knuckles. I don't like that. At least Japanese, that shouldn't happen. Because God forbid, Americans don't give a shit about voice actors, which is why we have the
Some do.
High ups.
Okay, yeah.
Don't do that.
Idiots.
And it's why we have voice actors actually protesting against AI because yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm curious as to how he's going to do, but he has done the famous super shout. So, and people do enjoy it. So people are pretty happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do want to take a moment to remind people I will be be watching One Piece every 2 arcs for a movie sign. We're not sure when that will start, by the way.
Yeah. You know,
And also I say making, but they both agreed on this.
Yes, yes. I mean, it's not like you're gonna be like what Edgy did for like our anniversary video. Like you're gonna chain us to like to the wall and make us play. You know what I mean? Okay, shut it up now. Giving him ideas. Shut it up.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just gonna do this quickly here. Okay, so I will say my last thing, and then we'll close. Like we'll round things up with Yu's last topic. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Are you guys familiar with an old anime called Samurai Pizza Cats?
I think a friend of mine told me about that once, and it looks really dumb, but in a fun way.
Not a whole lot.
It's supposed to be dumb as heck. It like when they started doing the dubbing for like an English version of the series, they just like for some reason like they couldn't figure out like make sense of like the plots for like the Japanese version, so they just basically they did their own thing with the show. Most of it was like ad-libbed in that. It's like just such a great show from like my childhood. And I am happy because to celebrate the 30th anniversary for the Samurai Pizza Cats, they announced a brand new video game, Samurai Pizza Cats Blast to the Past. And a lot of like this people responsible for the cartoon, they're coming over to work on this game. You have most of the original voice cast for this series, aside from the voice actor who voices Guido Anchovy, because he's just not gonna do it. But you have the other two Pizza Cats voice actors coming in, and their name, the names for the cats. There's Speedy Cerviches, the leader, Polyester, a pun of polyester, and then Guido Anchovy. The series focused on the Pizza Cats fighting off against the forces of the villain Bad Cheese and his Ninja Crows. I highly recommend checking out the series. It's on YouTube in its full entirety. From what we've seen for the game, it looks beautiful. And the ability to swap between the three characters is just... I'm excited for it. And like when they did the trailer, they even poked fun of we can the villains can bribe the game designers to give them a robot. Yeah, it's a little thing, but I had to bring it up just because I'm excited for this. All right.
Oh no, and you, that is very good that you are.
Yeah. I definitely want to review Samurai Pizza Cats for a movie sign at some point, so I might actually have to show you guys the first episode at some point.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so that takes care of my topic. So let's just... Giyu has one last topic.
Yeah, my last topic is a big one, especially with one of the things involving it, which I know D-Pad will be very happy with. We finally have a full-on trailer for the Devil May Cry anime coming up from I can't remember his name. By Adi Shankar, the person behind the Castlevania anime. The animation studio is Studio Mir, the South Korean-based animation studio behind X-Men 97, Harley Quinn, and My Adventures with Superman.
Ooh!
In the second trailer, we had Last Resort by Papa Roach playing. I like the fact that we're doing just these pop songs for the trailers. I find them very hilarious. And they do, man.
Yeah,
we do have a bit of a voice cast list. In addition to John Young Bosch, who that one was a no-brainer because it's easy to tell when it's Johnny voicing Dante, which I'm not a fan of, Not because I don't like Johnny. He is a damn good voice actor. He's already voicing Nero in the game, so it's like, why do that?
Yeah.
I hope this is not going to
Why can't
transition
he
into the
voice
games. I'm hoping Capcom's going to, if they're going to keep using Dante for the series. I'm not going to go into why, but if you played 5, you'll understand why. I know for a fact they're not going to bring Ruben Langdon back because he's a fucking idiotic conspiracy theorist. So he can get fucked.
Yeah.
But in addition to Ruben, we also have Scout Taylor Compton, who played Laurie Strode in the reboot versions of Halloween. She will be voicing Lady instead of her game voice actress, which that's weird. We have Hoon Lee. That name should be familiar to D-Pad.
Yeah. Hoon Lee.
Yeah. But for those of you that don't realize, Splinter in 2012 TMNT and Shredder in Rise.
Yeah. The moment you said that, I'm like, it's Splinter from the CGI Trail series.
Yep. We also have Chris Coppola. He is Hoon Lee is voicing our villain, the White Rabbit. So we're bringing that motherfucker back from the manga, so that's good. Chris Coppola, he's played a bunch of side things, so I don't really know if people would easily know him, but some of the more recent stuff is he's Neighbor Dad in Spidey and His Amazing Friends. You know, that weird, oh hey, kid-friendly Spider-Man stuff, because Disney Junior needed that. But yet, let's also bring in fucking Baron Zola into it. And it's like, what the fuck? And he will be voicing Enzo Farino. There also is, we also have, at the end of this trailer, the appearance of Dante's twin brother, Virgil. He will be voiced by Robbie Draymond, and I don't like that. Not because I don't like Robbie Draymond. He's a very awful choice for Virgil. I don't like the fact that they're having him voice Virgil. Robbie Draymond's range is more of basically more of a goofy, best friendy character.
Okay, I'm looking at him. Oh, they got one of the breadwinners to voice a character.
Yeah, well, he's done a lot better. He's Prompto in Final Fantasy 15. He's Akechi in Final Fantasy in Persona 5. Which you can go, oh, but he voiced Akechi. He's not motivated for Virgil. Akechi is not motivated for Virgil. He's a good voice actor. I'm not going to say. This is kind of one of the two roles I don't like him in. And because he also voices Megumi in JJK's dub, he would be a much better choice as Yuji.
I feel bad that the thing I know him best in is not a good show.
No, you're fine. But yeah, no, I'm still going to be watching this. I'm just disappointed that we have Robbie Draymond as Virgil. Again, not because I don't like him. He's a good voice actor. He's not really a Virgil in my eyes.
Okay. Is there any other voice actors that I should know? Okay, you're
this will be the last time we will ever hear Kevin Conroy in anything animated.
What?
Kevin Conroy is in Devil May Cry anime.
Didn't he pass away recently?
This has been it's an animated series. These are we've had These aren't basically just 1 week and then boom things. These take kind of years, hell, even to find a company and a team for it. So it's like this was done before Kevin Conroy's passing. I don't know which one was first out of which one was finished first out of this or Crisis on Infinite Earths. But considering this is coming out second, this will be the last time we ever hear Kevin Conroy in anything.
Yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earth was his last time as Batman.
Yeah, as Batman.
Unless you count, that certain game, which I'm not going to get into.
We're not going. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we can count it, but honestly, it's done way more damage to the Arkham series than anything. So
yeah, there's that. So this is like the last time we actually hear him in anything. So that's wow.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I learned that. Oh, hey, we have Kevin Conroy.
That's going to be interesting to see how they do this. Like,
I actually cannot wait for the anime.
I'm excited because Food in it. He's good.
Because I enjoy the crap out of Devil May Cry, even though I only choose to play 3, 4, and 5, not the first 2. Because after playing 3, 4, and 5, it's really fucking hard to go back to the first 2 games with how slow and clunky they are, and not polished they are.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Devil May Cry, didn't you, Edgy, and Mega recently finish recording the Devil May Cry playthrough for Splitscreen Squad?
Bayonetta, and no, we haven't.
Oh, okay. Why
It's the same people. It's the same. It's mostly the same people. That's why.
Okay. Sorry. Why was I thinking it was? My bad. Okay. But with that being said, I think that wraps up the return for the podcast, you guys. What do you think?
All right.
All right. As always, be sure to check out my boy Yu when he streams. The link for his Twitch channel will be in the description below. Also, be sure to, follow us along with our friends Edgy and Mega over on our collab channel Splitscreen Squad. That will also be in the link below.
D-Pad will be back on the channel in the playthrough following this current one because we are currently going through Bayonetta. This will be the last playthrough without him. I should add on the next playthrough onwards, unless if he gets busy, we'll have him.
Yeah. Also be sure to follow Toaster over on her Deviant Art page. She's got some nice art. She's done some art for me too. With that being said, you guys, I'm D-Pad. Thank you for listening to this podcast. It's so good to be back. Until next time, later days.
I am Yu. Take care.
And I am Robot Toaster. Have a good night.